This question is from Larry Francis. Why wasn't Shane Douglas on the final episode of Nitro?
If this is Larry same Larry Francis from San Francisco, what's up, Larry? If not, apologies, but here's the question. Or the answer to the question. I wasn't on the final episode of WCW. I was at home. I'd broken my thumb. The trapezium bone in the thumb, which sits at the base of the thumb. It's a very avascular bone, meaning it gets a little tiny bit of blood supply, which makes it a very difficult bone to heal. It's usually a 3 to 4 month healing process. So I was in a thumb spica cast. It was off. But I was watching, and we had heard rumors months before that Vince was buying it. And we all sort of scoffed it off that because, well, antitrust laws, you listening, government? Antitrust laws would forbid it. And so when I was at home, I just made a sandwich. I'm sitting down to watch, and I turned my TV on to the WCW channel, and it's WWF. So I thought, just dummy me, I hit the wrong button, so I hit the button again, and still WWF. Maybe the batteries are dead in this thing, so I smack it a couple times, and I click over to the WWF show, wait a couple minutes, I click back to the WCW show, and it's still WWF. So it took me I'm a little bit dense that way. Sometimes it takes me about 6 months to get it. But about 2 or 3, 4 times back and forth like that when it struck me. Holy shit. They bought us out. And if you watch that show, you can see, it's just, clearly it was an end of an era, but it was not one that you didn't see coming. I'd said in a previous question about how, people were just haphazardly walking up and erasing matches and writing in new ones and things. This was WCW. The inmates truly were running the asylum. And, there's no company on the planet that's going to tolerate that. And I guess Time Warner seemed like they would put up with it a lot longer than they did, than most other people or companies would. But it was clear that as long as we continued down that road further, WCW's end was much closer in sight than needing a telescope. And it's a shame. A little sidebar here, Larry. Time Warner, professional wrestling at that time, I've not verified these numbers since and the data since, but at that time, 1 hour of wrestling was exponentially cheaper to create than, say, a 1 hour drama or 2 half-hour sitcoms. It was like way, way, way cheaper. And so I think even with the numbers a few points behind, I think at the last few weeks, we were like in the low 5s, the mid 5s, occasionally high 4s. WWF at the time was doing like 7s and 8s. So they were clearly beating us, but we still had that audience. And I still believe it, I will to my dying breath, if we had gotten a booking person, team, whatever in place, we had the much more talented locker room. That's not taking slaps at WWF's. But when you look down that roster, especially in the Revolution and the New Blood, Benoit and Guerrero and Dean, Perry Saturn, Canyon. I mean, these go on and on. It's like Jeff Jarrett, an incredibly talented locker room that unfortunately had 26 mad scientists trying to put their magic potion into. And so some weeks we looked like we were going left, some weeks we were going right, some days up or down or straight ahead. But the one commonality to it all, as somebody that took that very the competition with WWF very seriously, it was rare. But there were those occasional bright spots where you'd see a TV taping, man, and it would click. It was boom, 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 boom. And you think, okay, we're getting traction here. We're closing the gap. And if you've ever seen the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons, more times than not, that's what it felt like. We're making traction. The Coyote reaching out for the Roadrunner, beep, beep, and that was WWF at the time. It was really maddening because, to try to close the gap is hard enough. To try to overtake is even harder. And I still believe we had the talent to do it, but when you're having Booker du jour and, this revolving door of people in and people out, this one's here today and gone tomorrow, and that one's gone tomorrow and back today. It was just like that in WCW. I have heard that Ivy League schools, you put whatever stock you want to that today, but Ivy League schools, management schools, business schools, do seminars and classes on how not to run a company and use WCW as the template, as the example in the class. That's a little embarrassing. So great question, Larry. Let's keep them coming. Appreciate you guys being back.